The story begins in a quiet, lonely shelter, where Felix, the oldest cat, was always ignored. Day after day, people came to the shelter, but they always had reasons not to choose Felix. Some said he was too old, others wanted a kitten, and some just didn't feel a connection. Felix watched as other cats found homes while he stayed behind, feeling more and more invisible. His once bright eyes lost their sparkle, and he became a shadow of the lively cat he used to be. But you know, Felix hadn't always lived in a shelter. He once had a home where he was deeply loved. A couple who found him as a stray treated him like their own. They fed him, played with him, and even gave him his own special room. Felix's life was perfect. But as time passed, the love his owners once had for him started to fade. When Felix was young, he was their pride and joy. But as he grew older, things changed. His skin grew thinner, and he began to lose weight. His once strong and sleek body became frail, and his owners no longer liked how he looked. They started to care less about him each day. When Felix turned 20, they brought home a young, lively kitten. This new kitten quickly became the center of their attention, leaving Felix forgotten. Felix found it hard to accept the new kitten, and they often clashed. Instead of patiently helping Felix adjust, his owners grew frustrated. They didn't give Felix the time he needed to bond with the new cat. Feeling like Felix was more of a burden than a beloved pet, they made a tough decision. They took him to a shelter and said, "This cat has become troublesome." The love they once had for Felix seemed to disappear completely. The staff at the shelter were concerned about Felix. They knew older cats often struggled to find new homes, but they hoped Felix's story would be different. Just a few hours after Felix arrived, the staff quickly noticed what a sweet and patient cat he was. They couldn't understand how anyone could give up on him. Felix was calm and never caused any trouble, and he even showed a protective side toward the other cats in the shelter. After spending a few days with him, the staff grew attached to his gentle nature and were determined to help him find a loving home. The shelter's owner shared Felix's story on their website, hoping to reach someone who would give him the second chance he deserved. "This beautiful soul arrived here because his parents no longer wanted him," the post read. "Felix is kind, obedient, and loving. He may be old, but his heart is full of warmth. Felix needs your love and support more than ever." Many people found Felix's story inspiring, so they visited the shelter to meet him. But sadly, these visits never led to anything more than a quick glance. Families would comment on how sweet Felix was, but in the end, they always chose a younger cat. Each visitor had a reason why they couldn't take Felix home. Some said they didn't know how to care for an older cat, while others mentioned that their homes were too noisy or that they had young children. As the days turned into weeks, Felix's situation stayed the same. The shelter staff did everything they could, posting more campaigns on their website and social media, but deep down, they worried Felix might never find his forever home. But they didn't know that something amazing was about to happen in Felix's life, something that would make everyone smile. But before we go deeper into the story, make sure to hit that like button and be sure to subscribe. Let's continue the story. Then, one day, a couple walked into the shelter. When they saw Felix, they seemed to really like him. They spent over an hour with him, longer than anyone else had before. The staff began to hope that this might be the moment Felix had been waiting for. But after a private conversation, the couple decided to pass on Felix and adopt another cat instead. The staff's hopes were dashed, and Felix remained without a home. Sadly, it now seemed like Felix might never leave the shelter. Over the months, the once energetic and happy cat became dull and withdrawn. He no longer played with the other cats and spent his days sitting quietly in a corner, his eyes reflecting sadness and longing. As time went on, Felix started eating less and less. The staff could see he missed the love and attention he had received in his previous home. They worried that if someone didn't come soon, it might be too late for Felix. Then, a ray of hope appeared. Dr. Baker, a veterinarian who often visited the shelter, came by one day with his wife. Dr. Baker was there to check on the animals, but this visit was special. The couple had recently lost their own cat and wanted to find a new furry friend to bring joy into their lives. When they saw Felix, their hearts melted. He seemed to be the perfect match for them, gentle and affectionate, just what they were looking for. Felix's cage tag even described him as a sweet soul, reinforcing their feelings. Dr. Baker's wife was so touched by Felix that she couldn't hide her excitement. The couple, who ran a veterinary center, felt Felix would be a wonderful addition to both their clinic and their home. For Felix, it was the beginning of a new chapter filled with love and care. Dr. Baker, the veterinarian, gave the staff instructions to open Felix's cage. Everyone held their breath, worried that Felix might not respond well to the couple, given how unhappy he had been. But what happened next was nothing short of magical. As soon as Dr. Baker called out to Felix, he walked straight toward his future father, surprising everyone. Dr. Baker then gave Felix a warm, heartfelt hug, and the connection between them was instant. It seemed like the hug touched Felix's heart deeply, especially after so long without close contact with humans. Just a minute after the embrace, Felix's mood transformed dramatically. He started darting around the room and meowing loudly with joy. The staff quickly offered him a big bowl of food, which Felix devoured with great enthusiasm, as if he was coming back to life. The sight was so moving that not a single eye in the shelter remained dry that day. Dr. Baker told the staff he would take Felix home on a trial basis, with the plan to adopt him as the office cat if things went well. Felix adjusted perfectly to his new environment. He didn't just become the office cat. He became a symbol of hope and happiness for everyone who walked through the office doors. A few months later, a scared kitten was abandoned in a cardboard box outside the office. The tiny, frightened kitten posed a challenge for the staff, but Felix stepped up and offered his calming presence. He comforted the little kitten during its examination and even sat in the cage with it, giving the kitten the reassurance and warmth it needed. Felix had found his purpose, helping others just as he had been helped. Adopting him was a decision that turned out to be a huge win. "He has truly transformed our lives," Dr. Baker said with excitement. Now, Felix spends his days at the office, bringing comfort to animals who are stressed or in pain. His soothing presence helps calm those who feel anxious in the sterile environment and around the cold metal bars of the cages. Felix's calming effect is always there to ease their worries. Felix also supports his new owners, brightening their days with his lively and friendly nature. He has a special knack for sensing when his owners are feeling stressed. At those times, he showers them with cuddles, offering comfort and reassurance. While Dr. Baker knows that Felix's time at the office won't last forever, he plans to give him a happy retirement when the time comes. For now, Felix is enjoying every moment and truly living his best life. So, that's all for today. What are your thoughts about this story? Tell us in the comments section below, and if you like this, make sure to like and subscribe. Your support means so much to us. Until then, take care and thanks for watching.